Chris Payne here from Payne Outdoors. Today we're going to walk you through what I think is a world exclusive. I don't know that anybody outside of the company that makes it has seen this boat yet. So this is your absolute first look at the Ascend 133X Tournament Kayak. Now, this kayak has been in development for a long time, and what it is meant to do is give people an entry price point, a $9.99 price point for a big, wide open, walk all over it type of boat that is ready for a bow mount trolling motor or ready for a stern mount trolling motor, depending on how you want to go. It's pretty customizable, but it's got a lot of stuff already built into it. So what I've decided to do is I've put on a Minn Kota Terrova iPilot 55-pound thrust on the front of this. That allows me to not have to use the foot pedal, and I can use the remote, I can dial it in, tell it where I want to go, and enjoy the day. This is a very wide boat, it's a very long boat, and it's meant to be a big water tournament boat. We're going to walk you through it. Hopefully you'll see something you really like, and we're going to get started. Up here at the bow, you'll see you've got big molded in handles. This is going to allow you to grip on. This is a heavy boat, and so you're gonna want to be able to get a good grip on it and not just rely on a T-handle for it. Here's our motor. Notice what we've got is we actually have a pull handle here. So what this is going to allow us to do is we pull on this, and that's going to press down that lever so that we can then deploy the motor. And then we have this handle here, which will allow us to pull it back to us. So that's how we have that mounted up right there. Now you'll notice I've got a Yeti loadout box in the front of this thing, and it's a pretty big box. Pull that out. Like it's a pretty big box. I keep soft plastics in here. So when that box is out, you'll notice how much space is up here. Like I mean, you're talking probably a good 3 feet of deck space up front, that if for some reason you wanted to store camping gear or something like that, you want to take this on a long trip, you got tons of on-deck space. Now let's move right here to the center hatch. So this hatch is raised, and they've redesigned how this hatch works. So it's got a locking mechanism in it. You open it up, and it's got 3 different seal levels. So it's got an underneath seal, it's got a rim seal right here, it's got a locking mechanism, and this goes over the top. Basically, we don't want this thing to leak, and so we've got 3 different seal points of reinforcement so that it won't do that. Then right behind it, you'll notice we've got the Yak-Power system. So this is the 5-channel. This has got bow, midship, stern 1 and 2. Here's a cool thing. So the Yak-Power system, they've already installed everything but one of the ports. So you've got a port up front, that's an SAE plug. You'll see this guy right here. So you can plug in a spotlight or a USB dongle to charge your phone, or any of the Yak-Power accessories that accept SAE. You've also got one in the back. Back at the back, you'll see that. And then we've got a third one. So they left this open so that you could install it basically anywhere you wanted to. So if you decide you want it close by your chair, or you decide you want it right here, or wherever you decide you want it, you can install it. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people have a lot of questions on this. Yak-Power has made it super easy to figure out how to install these. If you go to their website, you can go to the built instructions, that's B-I-L-T, and it'll take you through step by step, all the tools that you'll need, exactly how to do this. So they've made it really, really, really easy. Now, before we go too far, check out the handles. So these are metal handles. These are not plastic handles. They're not gonna bust your knuckles. They're not gonna flex on you. And they are reinforced. So that is a good solid handle. You've got one midships on both sides. You'll also notice I've got a rod stashed here. So we've got these nice channels that if you decided to just lay down a rod while you're going, or you need to change baits or whatever, you've got these troughs that do that. If you're storing your rods in the back, in the flush mount rod holders, or in your crate, and you don't want to use that, these also serve as perfect storage for 3,700 size boxes, or like me, I've got a 32-inch catch board that fits right nice and neat right there and out of the way. So lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of storage on here. You'll also notice this is a new seat. For those of you that have not seen the Ascend in a while, this is a fairly new seat. This is a really high back seat that tapers and has an angle to it. So when you sit in it, what you're gonna get is that's not gonna dig into your shoulder blades. The back bar is above the bottom of my shoulder blades. So the seat is designed ergonomically to be able to make it a more comfortable ride. You've got adjustments on both sides, and they've also included this little pull-out tray. So it's just a simple tray that goes under the seat, but it's easy to store, you know, scupper plugs or your Yak-Power SAE port. Really easy. You do have foot braces on here, which go along, and you've got accessory track on both sides here. So right behind the seat, we've got our 2 cup holders, and something cool about this, and it's kind of a small feature, but something you may want to know is, let me slide this catch board up a little bit. You'll notice that these cup holders drain into your tackle box storage, which drains into your rod storage, which drains into your floor, which then drains out. So the idea is for these to not hold any water. The water is always moving towards the scupper hole. So that's another cool thing we've built in. You can see the flush mount rod holders. I like these to, you know, store net or something like that. I typically don't keep my rods in there. And then you'll notice this connection. So this is for a trolling motor. You can connect yours wherever you want to. This is where we've got it connected because we've got the battery tray made out right here. So we're going to be able to put that battery right here and connect it. And where that runs is we ran it underneath all the way up here, up to the front. So I've got my connection up here, and then I've got my right here, so my quick disconnect, and then that runs under the boat, channeled to right back here, and is installed. You'll also notice we've got ports that you can take out in a lot of different places that you'll be able to access the underside of the boat if you're doing additional accessories. We've got mat in here. We've had mat in a lot of the Ascend boats for a while, but you know, just good traction mats, which are a great help. Now let's look at the back tank well, right? Let me move this. So this back tank well has a ton, an absolute ton of room. It's wide enough, it'll fit a 40 quart cooler. I've got a 30 quart Yeti back here, a soft side, that I like to carry with me. I've got my Flambeau Tough Crate. I've got my tray for my battery, and I've still got space. And I've got space on the sides too. I mean, this thing has probably more space than most people will need. It's a really, really cool design to give tons of space. It does add a little bit to the weight of the boat, but man, it's pretty well thought out. I really like it. Oh, and before I forget, so on this one, we also have built in, this is in the low position. We also have a high position built in for the seat. And so you can get up higher and get a better view, or if you have trouble getting up and down and you want to stand quite a bit, the higher position will allow you to do that with a little more ease. So pretty cool that you've got a couple of options there. You can be high or low. Now let's come around to the back. We've already kind of shown you a sneak peek. We've got this SAE port already installed for you. We also have, if you want to mount a power pole, we've got the power pole mold set in with the inset screws right here. If you decide you want to add an anchor later, we've already got the hole drilled for you to be able to have a pivot anchor. We've already got the kiss-offs so that you're going to be able to know where you're going to install those if you want to install a rudder. Now we'll tell you, as long and as wide as this boat is, it's probably not going to be just super fun to paddle unless you just really are hardcore and love paddling. It's not going to turn on a dime. It's not meant to really do that. It's a stability boat. So for the guys who are maybe a little bigger, and they're wanting something that they can stand up in and be able to fish out of, and they're just going to use a trolling motor. This is a perfect boat, and you don't have to put, you know, $1,000 or $1,500 or $3,500 trolling motor on it. You can put $100 trolling motor on it if you want to. It just really depends on what you want to do. Now, a couple of things on the underside of the boat. What they've added is they know that guys drag their kayaks. They know that. And so we've got sacrificial skid plates on 2 on the bottom back here, and then up front we've got one as well. That way, if you are launching on boat ramps, you've got a skid plate that once they wear down, you just pop out the 2 screws there, you put the new one in, and you're ready to go again. That way you're not sacrificing your hull. So this is the 133X from Ascend. It's what I think is probably the most well thought out tournament boat out there if you're fishing like motor tournaments and things like that. For, you know, this setup, you're probably looking anywhere from, to have a bow mount trolling motor that's, you know, pretty good, you're still out less than $2,000. You could go as cheap as $1,300 or $1,400, including the boat, and have a motorized vessel that's ready to go. So thank you guys for watching. We're gonna get it registered. I've got to go get a battery for it, and I want to hook up a few accessories, and then we'll be testing it to let you know really how it performs. But thank you for watching Paint Outdoors. We appreciate you checking out this first look at the new 133X tournament boat from Ascend.